Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today I have memory lane for you, a little bit of memory lane. How many of you guys used to get these in the mail? Right? These are the old Littleton folders. Ironically, interestingly, whatever you want to say, I of course don't recommend anyone deal with Littleton because they just kind of are overpriced in everything that they do. However, the nostalgia is there for a lot of us, right? So I used to love getting these in the mail. Your coin has arrived, your preview, and just send us $2.85, and you get to keep this coin that's worth a nickel. And it was really fun. And so, what's fun about these, of course, is the nostalgia for someone who collected, but also, they have the price points and everything. So this 1912 nickel at 60 cents has not changed price at all. We have a 1911 dime at 60 cents. Of course, now those are worth a couple bucks. So you can see over time some things have just kind of maintained and other things have changed in value over time. Next up, I got to show you, a lot of you guys know already that I collect these little folders that you would use to accumulate and accumulate your money. And usually they're for banks. But this one is totally different. 40 Days of Sacrifice. This is a Lenten for a church. I assume that it's Lenten because it's 40 Days of Sacrifice, but maybe it's not because it actually doesn't say it's for Lent on it. But anyway, it's really interesting to me because it's a way that the congregation encouraged, or the parish encouraged the congregation to save money and then donate. So I thought this one was really cool because I don't have one quite like this yet. So that's fun. And letting the bygone errors go. How about some coin value guides from 1965? So these are always fun to look at. Now, mostly I like looking at the advertising because I find it pretty interesting to see, and some things have never changed. But I wanted to key in this book how you could buy an 1804 dollar. Type 1 was 10,000, but that type 2 restrike was 30,000. This was fantastic because you got to realize that's like seems like not a lot of money today, right? But 1965, at least where I am in Tucson, that was like two houses. I mean, a house was probably $15,000. So for two houses, so today, what is that? 800,000. Of course, though, when you have coins that sell for millions of dollars, I guess it was still a good purchase. Back in the day. So, but if you miss the boat on that, you can study law at home. How fun is that, right? I mean, so your coin magazine was advertising all kinds of other stuff in it, which is really interesting because you don't really see those type of ads in today's coin magazines. So I thought that was pretty funny. Now I want to show you something that I truly do miss. United States Coins Premium Guide checklist. I miss checklists. Like, to me, this was a fun way to collect. Now, I preferred them to be a little smaller than this. This format's a little like double the size. I like the ones that were like a little pamphlet that would fit in the back of your pocket. It probably would have been a lot closer in size to this, even a little smaller than this. But I realize today now everyone just keeps track, or you can keep track with your phone app, apps on your phone and whatnot. But this would have the actual checklist of coins. And then what's nice about this one is it actually would have, two different grades, and then it would tell you the price points also. So that 1916 Standing Liberty quarter and good for $25. It was a stretch. That was a lot of money. By the way, this guidebook at 50 cents was a lot of money, right? That was a good one. Also, let me see if it has the date in it. 7th edition, 1960. So going in the Wayback Machine, and of course it does have spots in the back for you to just make notes, memorandum. You can have some note pages in the back, and so it was a fun way to collect. The funny thing is everything's on your phone now, and it's so easy to use. But I can't find anything on my phone, and this would have been a lot easier for me to use. So. But that's just me. Now, we're going to go back forward in time and pull out our gold value chart, which was courtesy of Numismatic News. And you want to find out what the value of anything is here, right? From the U.S. gold coins, the Austrian ducats. You've got the Canadian series, Germany, Hungary, Mexico. And if you want to know the price point, for starting at $300 an ounce and moving all the way up to $650 an ounce, here it is. This is all you need, right? So I would guess this is from the 90s based on the price points on here, from 300 to 600. But it's good. Now I got a new guide to help me buy stuff, right? I can just use this in the shop. Go ahead and let me see how much that 50 peso, $397.50. Says so right here in this gold chart book. I shouldn't encourage that type of thing. It's really not cool, right? All right, so let me see here. Also, a Coin Quarterly. This one's interesting because I'm not familiar with this publication at all. This one also, I think, is from the 60s. Let me see if we got the publication date on here. MCMLXV. Okay, I'm going to say that means 1965, but we can go from there. But Saul Jacobs, publisher, Elmer Klein, editor, David Friedman, editor. Articles and stories on mining, and it was a good little publication. Just talking about lots of different type of collector coins, and stories, and then you did have some price guide material in the middle here, a little bit of a price guide to it. So lots of things that have gone by the wayside that I still kind of like it in the publications in the mail, although those are going the way of the dinosaur. But holding the old ones to me is more interesting because for some reason when it's older you feel like the articles were correct. In the new articles you're like, yeah, boring, but let me look at this old article that says the same thing, and I'll think this is fascinating, right? Fantastic. Couple more things to show you. First of all, from the United States Mint. How's that for mint packaging? This is actually a bag so that if you went to the U.S. Mint, and I think if you bought something in their gift shop, you got bags. How cool is that, right? Also, some advertising I have not seen. All those presidential medals that you see that aren't worth anything from the bicentennial. This is a big old trifold publication. Showing off the different metals and showing off some of the opportunities to buy plastic housing in cases and things of that nature. And last but not least, I had something that I thought was fun. This Fell's United States Coin Book. This one was really interesting for a couple of different reasons. So, first of all, once again, they've got the advertisement on the back of the coin book for coin collecting is like fiction novels. Year's best sci-fi novels by Lyler and Dickey. I don't know who they are. Don't know. But this one here, what's interesting to me is some of the. This is 1950 or 55, I think. Now I can't remember offhand. By Jacques Del Monte. And what's interesting is some of the stuff that he says about coins. In the previous editions of this book, the author suggested in the chapter on speculation and investment that certain key coins would probably increase in value. Now, however, the author believes that these coins have reached a peak and the price of gold coins is unreasonably low. For that reason, it is suggested that anything you are able to buy in gold coins at about double the face value should give you an investment which is likely to increase in value. Hey, he hit the nail on the head. I mean, he was right. What can you say? All it took was, 75 years. Also, what's interesting to me about this book, so it has a lot of hand-drawn pictures of the coins, and then it has one price point, and the price point is listed at good to very good, which I think in today's terms is probably closer to fine to very fine. That's a whole nother discussion for another day, but I don't think he literally means, good good for Morgan dollars. I don't think that's what he actually means here. So he only lists one price point condition. I found this really funny because you may find that the same coin would be worth $2 in fine condition, and $6 in uncirculated, and $12 in proof, as it would be both inconvenient and pointless for you to read through tables of all prices and all conditions in a book of this size. We have limited ours to the condition good to very good. It was really funny because, the red book has columns with the different grades, and he was just saying in here, yeah, that just seems like a waste of ink. We're not going to bother. We're not going to bother doing that. By the way, the line drawings in here are really funny because if you've ever seen old books that have line drawings from the Middle Ages, like the line drawings are actually 500 years old, and they look really well, quite a bit like the coin. And then you got this like Ben Franklin half that is just wonky. And of course, we didn't even talk much about price points, which is one of always the takeaways when you look at old coin paraphernalia and coin collecting stuff is the price point, because a lot of people want to know what's the best thing to collect, what's the best thing to collect, what's the best thing to collect. And invariably, over time, it just seems like large portions of the market tend to go up in value when you're talking about decades of time passing, right? And so we don't really think about that because days pass slowly and years pass quickly. But when you look back, you can say, oh, okay, it can help you kind of look forward a little bit and understand things to maybe avoid and things to collect. If you're collecting for fun, look, at the end of the day, that's how I tell people to collect anyways. But if you're trying to understand what has market potential and market upside, generally you still just go with scarcity, eye appeal, condition, things of that nature. The more common something is, the less likely to go up in value. Although, at the end of the day, very inexpensive silver coins have shown over time to really do well, but a lot of that has to do with just inflationary pressure over time, right? The price of metals. But maybe that's still the way to go. Maybe if you're a beginner collector and you're still looking at just basic mercury dimes for a couple bucks each, $2 or $3, great. Have fun with it. Enjoy it. On the other end of it, there's definitely always a place for scarcity and popularity. So anyways, enjoy memory lane. I hope you did. I did. I enjoy looking at this type of stuff. So thanks for watching. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.